Let's get to the Democrats showboating and that wild display of hostility and misinformation leveled at the big bank CEOs. Joining us is a member of the House Financial Services Committee. He is Ohio Congressman Warren Davidson. Sir, we watched it today. You were sitting there. You had a front row seat. What happened?
Well, it was a bit of a spectacle. There was a massive line of folks waiting to get in. Some of that was engineered by people in the industry that are counting on federal programs to operate essentially their businesses. But the purpose of the hearing was really twofold. One was, on the Democratic side of the aisle, was to create news and to roast one of their favorite targets for roasting, which is big bank CEOs. And then I think broadly for Republicans and for some Democrats who asked meaningful questions about the financial stability of the markets and, what you would do if you had 7 CEOs, collectively over 1 million employees in the United States of America, massive contributors to the economic growth and expansion of our economy, the envy of the world economically. What would you ask them? And we saw that today.
You make a great point. Listen, they're trying to relitigate the financial collapse, which we've done that for the last 10 years. We understand that. We know that bankers have abused their authority in many ways. What was striking, sir, I'd like your reaction to what happened with Maxine Waters getting schooled by bank CEOs on who really does own student loans. Watch.
Last month, this committee received testimony that last year 1 million student loan borrowers defaulted, which is on top of the 1 million borrowers who defaulted the year before. What are you guys doing to help us with the student loan debt? Who would like to answer first? Mr. Monahan, big bank.
We stopped making student loans in 2007 or so.
Oh, so you don't do it anymore. Mr. Corbett?
We exited student lending in 2009.
Mr. Diamond?
When the government took over student lending in 2010 or so, we stopped doing all student lending.
Now, sir, this was an awkward moment. What's striking is Maxine Waters praised the government takeover of student loans about 10 years ago into the Obama White House. You were sitting there. How awkward was that?
Well, I think it caught her off guard. I'm not sure she realized how little that they still did or were, for these banks, not even participating. And you see specialized private finance that has stepped in because they do underwriting. The federal government doesn't actually underwrite student loans. They take the average risk, and allegedly, an interest rate consists of time value of money for sure, and of course default risk. So they price all the risk of default the same. It's kind of a high risk, but if you look at companies like SoFi, they actually do underwriting and say,
but my real question is, Maxine Waters runs House Financial Services and didn't know basic facts there.
Well, hopefully it was helpful.
Okay.
It is a real debt crisis. Hopefully it was helpful for her and the committee to focus on a real problem.
Let's watch Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez grilling J.P. Morgan's Chase's Jamie Dimon.
I represent kids that go to jail for jumping a turnstile because they can't afford a Metro card. Do you think that more folks should have gone to jail for their role in a financial crisis that led to 7.8 million foreclosures in the 10 years between 2007 and 2016, Mr. Dimon?
I don't think people should go to jail for jumping a subway. I think we put too many people into jail. And I think if people broke the law, they should go to jail.
Congressman, your reaction?
Well, I think it was an odd contrast. And yes, there are people, say at Wells Fargo, who've committed fraud. And it begs the question, is anyone actually ever prosecuted for these things, or do the banks just pay fines? Regular people would be prosecuted. And it's a meaningful question, but to try to contrast what's going on with the financial crisis, a decade plus ago, with a kid jumping a turnstile, it's just kind of incoherent. I mean, there's lots of things like that you could pick on or nitpick on. And, one thing I will say about my colleague from New York, she is incredibly successful at earned media.
All right. Congressman Davidson, thank you so much for coming in, sir. Appreciate you coming on. Thank you so much.